The Oklahoma City Thunder defeat the Toronto Raptors 116 to 107 at Scotiabank Arena. And this was pretty much a beatdown until the fourth quarter. So the Raptors did their thing in the first quarter, then it was an ass kicking through the second and third. And then the Raptors tighten this thing back up. But there's a lot that happened in between that we have to speak about in this one. Okay. A lot of things we got to discuss in this one. And I'm tired tonight. And I'm just going to get right to it because there are some very, very important key things that we have to discuss. Now, one, Scottie Barnes is back in the lineup after being away for personal reasons against the Milwaukee Bucks. No Jakob Poeltl in this one. I'm guessing they're saving him to go up against the San Antonio Spurs on the second night of a back-to-back. So now you have Ingram, Barrett, Barnes, quickly, Colin Murray-Boyles to get the start in this one. Okay, and right off the bat, Ingram and Quickly come out. They knock down 2 threes. They have an early lead. It's 6-4, and they were doing pretty well defensively. Okay, doing a pretty damn good job defensively in this one, taking accountability, keeping their man in front of them early on in this one. It was a 9-4 Raptors lead with 8:06 remaining in that first quarter. 3 triples. Now after Ingram and Quickly, RJ hits a 3 as well. And like I mentioned, they start the game well defensively. And then after that, RJ knocks down a couple more triples in this one. He had 11 points early with 5:15 remaining in that first quarter. And then one thing that I thought was interesting, and we touched on it in the last episode, Jamison Battle. Remember we were talking about Jamison Battle? Well, he actually got in the game earlier than Grady Dick in this one. And so keep your eye on that because we have been discussing what is going on with Jamison Battle and why is he not getting more time compared to one Grady Dick. So keep your eye on that because he did get into the game earlier than Grady Dick in this game. Okay. 21-17 Raptors lead with 3:27 remaining in this one. But at this point, I'm seeing a whole bunch of straight line drives and blow-bys from the guys on the Oklahoma City Thunder going straight past the Raptors perimeter defenders. Okay. They keep getting beat off the damn dribble. And that ended up being problematic moving forward. Okay. Because, well, I'll discuss that in just a second. I won't jump ahead, but let me just start here. So the Raptors were starting to smother the Oklahoma City Thunder defensively towards the latter of the first quarter. And Scottie Barnes actually picked Caruso's pocket twice, back to back, and both led to layups. So that was good to see. And for those of you who didn't know, Scottie Barnes is the only player in the NBA with 70 plus steals and 70 plus blocks in this one. And the Raptors forced 7 turnovers, leaving it 10 points in that first quarter. 32-25 ball game after the first quarter. And the Raptors were looking pretty decent. They were looking pretty decent after that first quarter. Okay. And so you jump into the second, and this is one thing that really ticked me off early into that second quarter. Now, there was a play early on where Scottie Barnes ends up getting the basketball and he's at the free throw line. And at that point, there's around 5 or 6 seconds left on the shot clock. And I want to see Scottie turn around, face up, and attack the basket. I don't even care who's on him. You got 5 seconds left on the damn shot clock. He ends up passing the ball to Grady Dick for a turnover. I mean, are you absolutely kidding me right now? Almost blew a gasket on seeing that because I knew he was going to do it before he did it. And there has to be times where Scottie is looking at that damn shot clock and he has the ball. He's got to be aggressive offensively. You got to get buckets. You making a pass to Grady Dick when the shot clock is about to run out is an immediate turnover. Like there's no question about it. Okay, so that was annoying to me as well. The other thing that annoyed the hell out of me right after that happened was RJ Barrett being called for an offensive foul. Once again, because he got the ball and tried to go 1-on-2. Guys, I mean, gals, I
It's
mean,
happening over here during whole season. I've been calling it back. It's a complete crap.
we've talked about that before. Please, for God's sakes, stop trying to go 1-on-3, RJ Barrett. It doesn't work. It may from time to time, but overall, please, no, it does not work. Okay. And OKC now goes on a 13-4 run with 6:30 remaining in that second quarter. And they're attacking the Raptors in the paint. And we're going to look at some of the numbers here. But when you look at points in the paint in this game, it was 56-38. 56-38 in this game. And that's because the size on the inside in regards to Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren, excuse me, were it was a problem for the Raptors. It was a problem for the Raptors. It just was. They couldn't attack the paint like they wanted to because they just had so much size that they were running into when they got in there that it was definitely a problem. And so OKC now has a 40-36 lead with 5:53 remaining. And remember, the Raptors went into the queue with a 7-point lead. Okay. And at that point, it was 22-12 with OKC points in the paint. The Raptors only had 4 points in the paint. And that's in the second quarter with 5:53 remaining still. And OKC was just all over them. They were all over them defensively. And that is to be expected because they are the best team in regards to defensive rating in the NBA. Raptors are 5th, but they're just all over them. I mean, Luguentz Dort was just a savage all over Brandon Ingram. Just and they give him a lot of leeway. His hands, arms, they're all over guys. It's just come on. Again, like, come on. Like, what? Seriously, just more. I mean, that's what was happening if Luguentz Dort is guarding you. Seriously. Like, you can't tell me you watched that game and didn't see Luguentz all over these guys, hand slapping. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. The guy's aggressive. And so he gets the benefit of the doubt. And shout out to him. That's his specialty, being aggressive on defense, shutting guys down, locking guys up. I respect it. But damn, I mean, call something. I mean, what are you kidding me? And the Raptors, once again, start struggling offensively. They're going on droughts again. And what I witnessed there is that when you start struggling offensively, you start to take more risks defensively to make up for it. And then you start gambling. But gambling, once again, on the defensive end become very problematic because when you start jumping into passing lanes, missing the steals, it now becomes 5-on-4. Everybody has to rotate a little bit faster. Guys are being left open in a dunker spot. Guys are being wide open from 3. It becomes a problem. But like I mentioned, when you struggle offensively and you try to get everything back quickly, that's where it can hurt you. Got to be sound defensively. You got to stay disciplined. And when that lead begins to grow, you can't get it all back at one time. You got to make consecutive good plays on both ends of the floor to make sure that you righten that ship. Okay, so Jamal Shed now picks up his third foul with 4:01 remaining in that second quarter, but he was battling defensively. He was battling hard in this one, okay? And so I gave him some leeway there. He was aggressive, and that's what counted. 60-51 OKC going into the half. They outscored the Raptors 35-19 in that second quarter, and they out-rebounded the Raptors 32-20 at the half. Barrett had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Jacoby Walter had 8 points at the break as well. And Carson Wallace, 17.6 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 7-7 from the field and 3 of 3 from three-point range in this game. And let's look at some individual numbers here before we get to that second half. Now, Carson Wallace was an absolute problem in this game. We're talking about 35 minutes, 27 points, 11 to 16 from the field, 4 of 5 from three-point range, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal in this game. Just a nightmare in this game. Just a nightmare. Lugenstort wasn't bad as well. Didn't shoot well from the field, but did a really damn good job defensively. He gave you 15 points in 34 minutes, just 5 of 16 from the field, 3 of 9 from three-point range, but gave you 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals as well in this game. Isaiah Joe, 33 minutes, 22 points, 7 of 14 from the field, 6 of 11 from three-point range, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals in this game. Chet Holmgren in 30 minutes, just 7 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, but his presence on the inside, the length, okay, getting in there when guys are driving in, whether it be quickly Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, doesn't matter. He deters you when you get in there from going straight up for the no. He's like a tree. He's like a tree. It's just not happening. And the same thing with Hartenstein. You know, you got them both in there at the same damn time. And it's just both towers in there. 11 points for Hartenstein, 5 of 8 from the field with 9 rebounds as well, 2 turnovers, but he gave you a steal and 2 blocks in this game. And now we go over to the Raptors side. Brandon Ingram, I thought, was going to end up with more than 15 points in this game in the 35 minutes that he played. 6 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point range. But pretty early on in this game, OKC got it when they were looking at Brandon Ingram with some of the shots that he was making early, and they made the adjustment early. And they were throwing a double team at Brandon Ingram to get the damn ball away from him. And it worked. 34 minutes in this one for RJ Barrett, 21 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, gave you 2 turnovers, but gave you a steal and a block as well in this game. And I'll get to you with some of the other numbers in just a second, but let's move over here into the second half in the third quarter. So OKC is scoring easily at this point. Okay, they're getting to the basket, hitting you up from three-point range, and from an offensive point from the Raptors, they just stopped moving the ball like they usually do when they're actually effective in the half-court set on offense. And not having Pirtle tonight was glaring. It was glaring because, like I mentioned, not a lot of second chance opportunities anywhere in regards to the Raptors, especially being out rebounded. When we look at these rebounded numbers, I mentioned them to you already. And offensive rebounds, 12 for the Oklahoma City Thunder, 7 for the Toronto Raptors. And they were getting a lot of extra shot attempts up, the Oklahoma City Thunder, with their offensive rebounding games in this one. And the numbers I just read to you was with 6:40 remaining in that third quarter in regard to the Raptors being killed on the glass, but that was pretty much all game anyway. But the Raptors offense just couldn't match the Thunder's defense, at least not in the third quarter, because they were just all over them. And OKC was having a pretty good shooting night from three-point range at that point as well. I mean, they kind of went cold in the fourth quarter, but they were 6 of 10 from three-point range in that third quarter with 3:16 remaining in the third quarter, shooting 45% from three-point range at that time. And they also ended up with 2 4-point plays. 2 4-point plays. And Jamal Shed was good on defense. And then he takes a foul on the screen like he usually does. Then at the end of the quarter, he's racing up the court, got the ball in his hand, goes to coast like he's about to finish at the basket, kicks it out to Jacoby Walter. And Jacoby Walter knocks down a 3. And so it's a 98-80 ball game after that third quarter for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, 46-31 in rebounds. Walter had 17 points. Barrett had 17 points after 3. And it was 44-28 points in the paint for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I thought Jacoby Walter, coming off the bench, did a really good job tonight. He did a really solid job in 23 minutes. He had 17 points. He was 6 of 9 from the field, 5 threes in this game for Jacoby Walter, 5 of 7 from 3-point range, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, but gave you a steal as well. And he kind of kept kept the Raptors in this thing for a little bit because of some good shooting. Okay, he's one of the guys that the Raptors are really going to have to depend on down the stretch to come off the bench and do damage because his 3-point shooting has been getting a lot better. The form looks smooth, under control, and he's a guy that you're going to have to rely on to score and especially spread the floor from 3-point range when he checks into the game. Jamal Shed, also another guy who played pretty well in this one as well. In 23 minutes, 13 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3-point range, gave you 4 assists, 1 rebound, gave you a steal as well. But from a defensive standpoint as well, I thought he was battling, even with the bigs when he got switched on to them, whether it was Hartenstein or Holmgren. And, obviously it's a really big task to have to go up against those guys when you're the size of Jamal Shed, but he did a good job battling, fighting under there, putting his back, getting low, trying to push them out for rebounds. And that's all you can ask for. It's all you can ask for. Go out there and battle your ass off while you're trying to get a W. And so it's almost a 20-point game after that third quarter. I'm thinking, well, this thing is a wrap. The Raptors are just getting their ass kicked at this point. So I'm guessing it'll be a quick fourth quarter. And I was mistaken. I absolutely was, because the Raptors come out aggressive. They knocked down some shots, Jamal Shed and quickly. And Scottie was really alive defensively. He did a really good job defensively in this game. Do want to see him pick it up a bit more offensively. But in 32 minutes, he had 15 points. He was 7 of 17 from the field. He had 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 4 blocks in this game. Emmanuel Quickly, 17 points in 33 minutes, 4 of 9 from 3-point range, 6 of 14 from the field overall. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, but gave you 4 turnovers as well. But overall, I thought Emmanuel Quickly looked pretty decent, but I still want to see him. I wanted to see him take a few more shots tonight. Especially Colin Murray-Boyles played 30 minutes in this game. He started. He had 4 points. The guy was 1 of 1 from the field. He only took 1 damn shot. One shot.
What's happening over here during whole season? I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
I want to still see him be a bit more aggressive when he has the ball in the paint. Look at the basket to score before you immediately kick it back out when the ball gets to you and you're right next to the damn basket. We've been talking about that in regards to Colin Murray-Boyles. And so that we're still looking to see him adjust with as the season continues. Now, I did mention to you that Scottie was alive defensively. And because of that good defense, not just from him, but from an overall team effort, the Raptors managed to cut the lead to 10. It was 101-91. And the Raptors, going back to that third quarter, now in the fourth quarter, we're on an 18-3 run. An 18-3 run. The defense definitely picked up. Okay, and now they cut this thing to 5. It was 101-96 with 5:37 remaining in that fourth quarter. And the Raptors trailed by 25 in this game. They trailed by 25 in this game. And like I mentioned here, Luguentz Dort, hands all over Brandon Ingram. Colin Murray-Boyles, I'll say we did talk about his offense just now, but from a defensive standpoint, stud. From a defensive standpoint, yeah. Very disciplined, not jumping on pump fakes, not biting on them, moving his body, being physical. When it comes to playing defense, we already know what Colin Murray-Boyles is about. Okay, now OKC, because I told you the Raptors turn up that damn defense, they were 1 for 15 in field goals with 4:12 remaining in that fourth quarter with 6 turnovers. And Now Shed ties the game. He knocks down a big three, ties the game, and Scotiabank Arena at this point is just going berserk. Okay, they're going crazy here. But this is the part that really confused me that I didn't get. They end up tying the game up 101-101, right? And then OKC ends up going on a 9-0 run to make the game 110-101. And the whole time I'm there and I'm asking, why the hell did it take so long for Darko to call the timeout? You call the timeout after they go on a 9-0 run? That's the part that was confusing to me. I didn't get that. I thought that when they were up 2, when the game was 103-101, he should have called a timeout right there and stopped it. Stop the game right there. Draw something up. Try to get that for sure 2 or 3, whatever the play call would have been. But I thought you should have stopped it right there. By the time they got to that 7-0 run, it was over from there. It was done. And like I mentioned, Holmgren, Hartenstein causing all kind of problems on the inside. And listen to this, because this is pretty alarming as well. With 140 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Raptors were on minus 25 without Scottie Barnes on the floor. And he was a plus 16 when he was on the court. So that was pretty glaring in this game. The Raptors and the Oklahoma City Thunder both shot 47% from the field, 49 of 95 in regards to field goals for Oklahoma City, 41 of 88 for the Raptors in this game. And in regards to total turnovers, Raptors ended up with 16, forced 19 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But you guys can see Oklahoma City, even the way that they play, and a guy who came off the bench and played really well for them as well, Alex Caruso in 23 minutes, 16 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point range. They're next level. They have a different notch, aggressive defensively, really crisp with their passing and their offensive efficiency in regards to how they're running plays. They're crisp. And this is all without your 2 best players on the floor. Williams wasn't playing. Shea wasn't playing. And they're still crisp out there. So they're just a tough team. And I was really hoping that the Raptors were going to get this win and sweep them in the season series this year. But no, tied at 1-1. And so that is it for the Raptors. They take the L 116-107 at Scotiabank Arena. As you all know, they're on a back-to-back against Wemby tomorrow night. So that also should be interesting, and that is going to be a really, really tough test. They better go home and get some sleep, because I got news for you. The Spurs, they're coming. And I'm not just talking about the Raptors. I'm talking about for the NBA overall. At Mike Roach 7 on IG, at Mike Roach 23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the Mike Roach Show. I will be back again tomorrow night for post game against the San Antonio Spurs. Hope I see you then, and I'm out.